All right, let's go into that issue about the Defence Minister's office. I tell you, largesse, wasted money, we talk about it a lot here on Credlin, but how about this? In the Herald Sun today, the story about Richard Marles's office takes the cake down. This isn't his Parliament House ministerial office. We're not talking about his electorate office. We're talking about a refurbished office down at the Defence Department. There's been a series of FOIs that reveal the cost of the refurb, not the walls or anything. This is just a refurb, $800,000. $800,000. But here's the clanger. Marles didn't want the office, didn't ask for it, didn't even know it existed until 7 months into the project. And the man who discovered it all, News Corp Australia's senior correspondent Charles Miranda, joins me now. Charles, it's a cracker of a story. It typifies everything that's wrong, not just with Canberra largesse and spending, but with the way in which the defence bureaucracy disregards our dollar. Tell us more.
Absolutely. Look, it is extraordinary. It really is. Initially, I think when you hear sort of figures like $800,000, you think, oh, OK, well, it's a big redevelopment and it's an entire floor or it's an entire building or what have you. That's just for one office. That's just for his office. And I think really there is a couple of issues here. Now, you know Defence as well as I do. They will not buy a cup of coffee without there being some sort of written approval, some budget, some discussion, debate, and then sort of various lines of inquiry, and then away you go. So for Defence to not know why this office was built is simply beggars belief. It's unbelievable. And that's what happened. I mean, no one is being held accountable for this. Now, to be fair, Richard Marles, and he addressed it today, and you're absolutely correct. He didn't know there was an office being built for him. He didn't want the office built for him. And then when he heard about the price and saw it, he said, I'm not interested in that. I've got a very good office on the second level of Russell inside the department. And we know he spends his time between Parliament House and he's got a very nice office there. And he's got a more modest office, or a more humble office, actually, in Russell. This one was 3 stories higher with sweeping views over the Majura Ranges. Very lovely. He didn't want it. And he has no intention of going in there. So all of a sudden, we've got a mothballed office that no one wants to use because it's so toxic. Peter, the next issue is, and I know this is something you know a lot about, Senate estimates. We have these estimates that go over all the sort of the interests and the budgets with a fine-tooth comb. What also beggars belief is that not one MP deemed this fit to raise. No one thought it was extraordinary that $800,000 was spent on one office that no one wanted, and now it's just sitting there empty.
So just on the point, I'm all credit to him. I do pay a tribute to Richard Marles that he's wanted to work down in his department. I think nothing is better than that. What do they say? The best fertiliser on the farm is the owner's boots. I think having the Defence Minister down there puts them all on notice that he's going to, scrutinise the spend and the acquisitions and all the stuff that they're doing in relation to this defence review. So big tick to him there. I want you to assure me that he didn't know about this, because I've rarely seen a department spend this sort of dough and not tell someone in the office, if not the minister. And if it's the case that he didn't know, a head's going to roll over this.
Reading through the various emails that have been released on FOI, I mean, there was genuine incredulity from his office over the fact that this had been done. So I genuinely believe he had no idea this was being done. Did he know there was a refurbishment in the building? 100%. There's no doubt about that, I think, because the previous government organised that and he inherited it. Did he know there was an office? No, he didn't. All
right, just quickly, these cardboard drones being made in Melbourne, I think it's a phenomenal story. They're being used in Ukraine. What can you tell us?
Yeah, look, they are fantastic. They're low cost and they're almost disposable. And we have gifted them to Ukraine, and they're actually in operation right now in the Ukraine. Strangely, though, we don't use them here in the ADF. It's a sovereign capability. It's been built here in Australia, but we currently don't have them in use.
Wow, flat pack there, IKEA sort of drones, but if they work and they're helping beat the Russians, all good luck to them. Thank you very much, Charles Miranda. Great story. I'm sure it will be pursued in Parliament next week.